Strike up the band and gird your loins. This is the 100th episode of First Eps, and we watched Secret Invasion, the new Marvel series. We're going to talk all about the history of this show, the history of Secret Invasion, and the history of us. I'm Eric.
And I'm girding my loins.
And this is First Eps. What's up, everybody? We're back after a little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah.
What was it, like 3 weeks?
I think around, yeah.
Around 3 weeks.
I mean,
you were out gallivanting.
I was, yeah.
I was just sitting here pining, waiting for you to come home and record a show.
But the prodigal sons returned.
We're here, and it's our 100th official episode of First Steps.
Yes.
Technically, if you're looking at the counter on the podcast feed, it's like 102, but there was like 2 bonus eps.
Right.
Don't count.
Because they were rehashes. We were thinking about things, right?
No, you weren't here for those. I was just like, I'm going to record something and talk about a show.
A mini review. Right.
They were like a mini eps.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, now we're back together.
Okay.
Ready to celebrate this
diversity
show.
Yes.
As we do every week.
Yeah, sure.
And talk about a new series, Secret Invasion, a new Marvel series.
Yeah.
But before that, I want to know how you been. It's been a while that since we've chatted.
I'm really glad you asked. There's been some tough times. There's been good times.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about it. I think
everything's all right.
Yeah, everything is fine. Yeah.
Good.
I just joined the Jewish Community Center today. Is that what it is? So I can start working out again. I was a member of East Sparta. However, they moved and closed down at the dead of night. So I didn't go for 6 months, and then I realized when I did choose to go that they had closed down.
Okay.
So
you just show up there. It's completely empty.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what happened. So then I decided that I needed to go to a new place. So I just joined today.
The JCC, that's a nice one. You can
swim. They've got classes. They've
sauna.
They've got a sauna, workout rooms, 2 different facilities.
You have to be nude in the sauna, though.
Yes, it is.
The rule.
Clothing not accepted.
Nudity mandatory.
Exactly. Yes. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
obviously.
Sure. Well, that's exciting. You're gonna be so fit real soon.
Yeah. No, I think it's too late for the summertime. We're going for fall bod. That's what we're aiming for this year.
Yeah, fall bod. I mean, that's the new fall is the new summer. Is what I'm hearing.
Absolutely.
Global warming.
Right. Yep. So that's the big thing on my front. How about you? What's going on?
Good. Nothing. I'm just not going to the gym. No. Continuing to bulk up for my eventual, transition into musculature.
Absolutely. You're transitioning into musculature, but not working out to do that.
Well, no, I'm eventual. I'm working on the bulking up right now. So just
so you can
hamburgers, desserts, and then convert it into muscle mass.
Perfect. No, that's good. That's a good plan.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a while.
Yeah.
So, that's a thing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You got to work out.
I saw it on the internet.
Yeah, your caloric intake needs to match the kind of muscle you want to build. So that you're starting with the caloric intake, and then you're going to work on the working out.
Eventually.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad I got your approval on it.
Oh, yeah. I'm always here for you, babe.
All right, well, should we get into this into this party?
Yeah.
It's a big party. I already told you that you're like, what is this going to be like? A half-hour show? I'm tired. I want to go home. And I'm like, dude, we haven't recorded in 3 weeks. It's our 100th episode. We'll get ready for at least 2 hours. 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
Discussion about, just the show.
Okay.
Secret Invasion, that show. And then just like a this is your life type situation where I got a lot of information about your youth. I brought in a couple of your elementary school teachers.
Oh my god!
Yep, yes. Your mom's here. Oh. She's been. I had her locked in the bathroom for like 3 hours. So she's
locked in the bathroom along with Mrs. Fox and I love it.
I may or may not have told them that only one will survive, so they might have fought to the death in there.
Oh my!
Secret Invasion. Let's talk about Secret Invasion first.
Yeah, speaking about brutal.
Yeah. So this is a Marvel series on Disney Plus.
Now, did you know about this one?
Yeah. So I'm not super familiar with the show. And what that was going to be, but I read the comic series that it's based off of, and I was a big fan. Now the comic series is a huge scale. It's like a global event. Lots of superheroes. You would have been, a little bit more excited. Because, and it was about, like, there was which superheroes are, are they Skrulls? Are they not? It's a whole thing.
Right.
In the superhero world.
Right.
And now this is on a much smaller scale. It's just really, Nick Fury out there trying to solve this whole thing. Yep. And it's instead of, thousands and thousands of Skrulls, it's hundreds of Skrulls. So
in Discord.
Exactly, yeah. So what a Skrull is it like a shapeshifter, and they can, take the body of people that they see.
Yeah.
And
they're aliens.
Yeah, and their clothing too, so it's like a whole like a Mystique type thing.
Yeah.
Which is weird though. Well, we'll get into it.
They're not quite as powerful as she is.
Yeah, she's got that blue, the blue look. These guys are green. Not as cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this show. So there will be some spoilers for the first episode of Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched the show and you don't want to be spoiled, go watch it first. Come back, listen to our talk about it.
Yeah. That's it. Good. That's good advice.
Bam. Starts off in Moscow.
There we are. Where else would you start in Russia?
Yeah,
St.
everything's
Petersburg?
happening. No.
No one wants to go there.
No, thank you.
Moscow.
And it's starting off with like a whole like Charlie Kelly, Pepe Sylvia moment. Do you remember this episode of the It's Always Sunny?
I mean,
where it's like
we're really pulling from the memory core here. Tell me more about this.
One of the best ones. Where so Charlie gets a job working in a mail room, and he's got all this mail, and he's like Pepe Sylvia, and he's got all these like things trying to figure out who Pepe Sylvia is. Karen.
Yes. Right.
But yeah, it's like a guy talking about all his theories about the Skrull invasion.
Right.
And the whole time you're like, I know one of these guys is a Skrull.
Gotta be.
Because that's the thing, you don't know. We don't know which one is a Skrull ever.
Exactly. Until you know.
By then it's too late.
I mean, now now, can I ask you a question? Like,
absolutely.
What can a psychic tell that they're Skrulls?
That's a great question.
You don't know?
No,
okay.
I don't know. I think so, probably.
I would think so too.
Yeah, but are there any psychics out there in the world?
I mean, there's a ton of them in the Marvel Universe. You think you could have one on your team if you're going to be investigating Skrulls, but
not in the MCU. Who's a psychic in the MCU?
I don't know. Isn't Xavier still around, or is he not?
No, that's a different thing. That's X-Men.
Didn't they join though now?
Yeah, but not officially.
Emma Frost?
Nope.
I thought she was in one of them.
No, that's X-Men. That's X-Men too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Psylocke? She was in Avengers.
No.
But she was in Avengers.
She was not in Avengers. She was in X-Men.
Oh, British Avengers. Was she in that?
Well, but no, she's in the X-Men movies.
There we go.
We're still, it's all.
Of course not, which is why these are all terrible.
Uh-huh.
I'm putting it out there right now.
Yeah, like the only psychic.
How about that lady with the little alien lady with the
oh yeah,
the emotive lady? She got in some
from Guardians of the Galaxy. She could probably tell if they're Skrulls.
There we go. Oh man, have her on your team.
Mantis.
Thank you.
Call her in.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. Alien versus Alien.
Yes, the final showdown. So he's trying to figure out this whole thing.
Okay.
They're yelling back and forth. Yeah. Martin Freeman's there. Him from Black Panther and other.
Of course we do.
Marvel.
Yep.
Did you watch the Black Panther movies? No? There's no psychics in them. You're like, no. I'm out. They're great movies.
I like the magic ones and the psychic ones.
Yeah.
And they're not, the MCU has a lot of them. So the ones I really watch in the MCU mostly are
you need like Doctor the powers. Strange. Like cool powers.
Yeah.
Like not just acrobatics and stuff like that.
No, I don't want to just fly or punch.
Yeah. So what about Captain America?
Don't even know who he is.
Okay. So Maria Hill comes in.
There she is.
Martin Freeman, Maria Hill.
Yep. The gang's back.
And turns out that one of them is a Skrull.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a part that confuses me a little bit. So this Martin Freeman, he falls to his death, and it becomes like, so as they die, they turn back into a Skrull.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But they keep their clothes on.
Yeah.
When they're shape-shifting throughout the show, they're shape-shifting their clothing too.
I agree. So obviously the clothes are part of the shape-shifting.
Yeah.
So they should just be nude.
Yes.
And that shouldn't be that
difficult. And do they wear clothes?
In their home planet.
No, on Earth. If they're shape-shifting.
Well, they did wear when we saw them in their colony there. They had clothes on with some of the green ones.
Yeah, the guy took his hat off and stuff like that. But if you could just simulate clothing with your shape-shifting abilities.
Oh, so you're saying they just simulate
Do they
clothing
even need to wear clothes at all?
I don't know. I mean, yeah. Maybe they don't. How do they reproduce? Do they have any genitals external?
Yeah, well,
Like, do they
I
care
don't know.
about, like, showing those off? Or,
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
We're going to pose this question.
Internal genitalia? I'm interested in that, too.
Yeah, if anybody out there knows anything about Skrull genitalia, hit us up on Twitter or something.
Anatomy. Yeah, that's very interesting to me.
Because, I don't understand the why. Because at some point I was like, okay, they have to wear clothing because we see them take clothing on and off. But then towards the end, the one big bad Skrull, Drake, is he's turning into like a little girl in a dress and then a big fat guy in like a leather coat.
Right. All of them.
Didn't get it.
Yep.
Next we get the much maligned the AI intro that everybody hates.
Yeah, you guys were not into that.
Yeah, well, I heard bad things about it. Everybody's up in arms about this the intro to the show because they used AI to create this like animated thing, and it sucked.
Yeah,
like I could tell it was AI. It was garbage, not good AI.
Yeah,
not a fan.
I mean, if you wouldn't have said anything to me about it, I would have just totally forgotten all about it. I think we watched it much more because you mentioned it. It didn't hold my attention. It looked
That's
weird.
the problem. It looked weird. It looked garbage.
Yeah. It looked unfinished.
Yeah. The only good AI is when it on TikTok, it makes me look like a Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm talking about. Or an anime.
Is that like when you turn into, like, what's your name? Chun-Li?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Street Fighter. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
They're out there for everything.
That's what my AI does by mistake. I get them.
Remember the big one for a while was like the anime one or whatever, and people were looking at it.
They
were looking for ghosts.
Breasts. Oh.
Yeah, well, the breasts too.
It was both, right? It was ghosts and then breasts.
Yeah.
The other way around.
Well, I looked for one, you looked for the other.
Well, I looked for both actually too. It was really fun.
And then the terrible intro.
Yeah.
Sam
no
Jackson.
Breasts,
no
ghosts.
No ghosts. None at all. But we did then get Sam Jackson, Nick Fury, beaming down to Earth from Saber. He was up in orbit there. And
so they're in Saber? What is that like?
I don't know. So in the comics there was Sword. It was like it was like the space FBI.
Oh, gotcha.
Basically like a government organization that controls
like shields, but in space.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know what Saber.
Something else. Is that maybe like what about Leandra? Is she in this at all?
Ooh, not yet. Anyways, not in episode 1. But
she's got a psych. She's a psychic. So I remember that her Professor X. They had a little love affair.
Yeah,
she had like a cool metal head.
Yeah, she's probably. Oh yeah, she was a Kree, wasn't she?
Oh, she was. Oh, a Scree.
Scree,
not
no.
Kree.
Scree. Skrull.
Maybe it's Kree and Skrull mixed up.
Yeah. Oh, maybe when they have babies,
they must have genitalia.
They become a Scree. Yeah.
Okay.
So now we just got Nick Fury, Maria Hill, and this guy Talos, who is a good Skrull helping out. Against the resistance.
Right, yeah. And somehow he's everywhere in this episode. He
seems he's like the main guy of this series.
Yeah.
The actor's Ben Mendelsohn.
I kept forgetting who he was.
He's great. I know you did. You're like, is that the same guy? I'm like, yeah, he's the only there's 3 characters in this whole show. And you can't figure out who they are.
Well, it did take me half the show to figure out that Daenerys was in it.
Yes, you did. It took you a while. Like, I mean, she looks the same.
Well, she had bad hair. So I was looking at the hair.
You were looking for the braids and the dragons.
Well, her and Kobe Smulders had the same haircut.
They did,
but one looked better than the other one.
They did. I'm shocked that you just said her name right too. Kobe Smulders. The whole time we're watching the episode, he's like, "Oh, what about Cody Smothers?" But yeah, so yeah, they're just talking about Skrulls and how they're gonna stop this whole thing, and that was pretty much the whole episode. It was just them talking about Skrulls. We got a little appearance by Don Cheadle and Dermot Mulroney over at the White House.
Must have been painted.
It was brief.
I don't know what I was doing in that moment.
I think we were just like we had just gotten our food, and it was like yeah. So yeah, the cast of this is huge because then Nick Fury's walking along, which again was like he's just walking along looking at Skrulls is the other 90% of the show.
Right.
And he gets taken to Olivia Wilde.
Right.
So I'm like,
that was?
Yeah.
Oh, they made her look older.
Not Olivia Wilde. Olivia Colman.
Oh, okay.
Olivia Wilde is a different person
I'm like,
entirely.
I thought she was a little younger than this woman.
Yeah,
Wow.
no.
I mean, this woman looked great
different
too,
Olivia.
but yeah, okay.
Great, both great.
Up 100%. Yeah.
But yeah, then I was like, this cast is fantastic because then you got Amelia Clark shows up.
Yeah.
It's all star-studded.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They didn't withhold anything.
Yeah, because that's the next scene there's a whole conversation with Olivia Colman here, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But it's all everybody seems to have like everybody's aware that there's Skrulls, and they're like, okay, we got to stop them.
They're all trying to work through different ends to get there together.
But yeah, everybody's just kind of working on their own.
Yeah,
there's
no one's working together.
No, like superheroes.
No.
You were annoyed by that. You're like, okay,
continually.
Just like bring in
anyone.
Captain Marvel.
There may be some bombs discharged. Let's go 3 people who have no real abilities and try to find it. Like, come on, bring some people in. You and I know they know people.
It's true. I think everybody was busy though. There was a whole thing, the Thanos snap. It really changed everything. It changed how things work.
I don't know.
But yeah, next we see there's a military base, and that's where Amelia Clark is.
Yep.
She plays a Skrull named, we find out her name is Gaia, and this is like a Skrull sanctuary. There's like 500 Skrulls there. They live there.
Doing the thing. And it's a radioactive site, so Skrulls aren't...
Yeah, they're immune to radioactive stuff, which is why they're in Russia, because there's so much like
exactly.
fallout there.
Yeah.
And that it's not just a Skrull sanctuary. It's like they're also creating like these resistance, like these militant Skrulls by like stealing people's identities.
Yes.
And next we come to learn that they're after some dirty bombs that they're going to use to blow up parts of Russia.
We got to do it.
And then the rest of the show is them trying to find the dirty bombs and stop the dirty bombs. We do find out that Gaia, Amelia Clark, is connected to Talos, the main guy somehow. Like he's her father, it would seem.
I don't know.
She never says that, but they always talk about her mother.
Like they don't,
either he was close to her.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then they're just chasing the dirty bombs through Mexico.
Mexico?
I mean, Moscow.
Moscow. I was like, oh man, I really missed that one. Where do we get to Mexico?
Yeah, they moved it back. I mean, they're very similar. And then there was a show. Then shit goes down.
Oh, we're not going to say everything.
I mean, let's say it. We'll say it. This is a big cliffhanger ending to the first episode.
There is a spoiler coming up, so if you don't want to hear it, definitely don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how permanent this is. Is it going to be permanent, or is this like an alternate universe?
I don't know. It seemed pretty permanent, but so they can't stop the explosions.
They can't.
Drake.
They were fooled.
The leader of the Skrull resistance.
Like Drake.
He
Drake's
does.
cousin.
He is one step ahead of our heroes.
Oh, he's so clever.
And ultimately ends up shooting Maria Hill.
Kobe
Smullers in the stomach, and we're left with like a bird's eye view of her just kind of dying on the
and then it said guest
the
star.
ground. And then
Colby
it said guest
Smothers.
starred. Yeah. Colby Smothers.
It was a typo apparently, because that's not how you say it.
Yeah. So it did seem like
I know
that's the end for Maria Hill.
Forever?
I don't know, unless she was a Skrull, but she did not transform back.
She didn't
into a Skrull.
Yeah, she never became nude, so it had to be a human.
Yeah, and then like half of Moscow/Mexico was blown up with these dirty bombs.
the square, not the whole city.
I mean,
but a square.
I'm assuming it's a smaller area.
So well, we make sure the people at home know it's a smaller area.
And they also kept talking about them being dirty bombs. Aren't those like radioactive?
That would be, yeah.
So
it would just poison people around there. It's not
well,
like
Fury was like right in there. Is he gonna have some effects from this?
I don't know. It's a possibility. He probably has some kind of
some natural immunity,
like iodide or something, right?
For being in space all the time.
Yeah,
he probably
exactly.
has
of course,
anti-rad.
Yeah, he's bombarded left, right, and center.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll unleash some like late immune abilities in him finally. Yeah.
Now, what is your take? So he never had the eye patch on this episode.
Yeah. He just had like the bionic eye.
Yeah. Why no eye patch? You think all of a sudden?
It probably is too much money
to have him wear it.
Yeah, it's an expensive prop.
Yeah, or he left it at home, and they're like,
let's just go with it.
Yeah, it was weird because he's always had the eye patch, and now it's just like, does he have a bionic eye?
I mean, it looked like it. It was kind of like it looked like it had
Yeah, I didn't know if it was just cloudy or if it was just like a.
I thought it looked like it had some kind of implant in it.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense.
But
they're all very technologically advanced.
Like his glasses. Well, he was seen like in infrared, and I'm assuming it was through his glasses. Maybe it was his eye.
Oh, true.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, we'll never know. We have a lot of questions here. Skrulls, genitalia, Nick Fury's eye.
Yep.
If you know about any of these things,
we will be looking in the comments.
Let us know.
To be educated.
Yeah, what happened with Nick Fury's eye patch?
Yeah.
And do Skrulls have genitalia / do they need clothing?
Yeah. Is it part of a cultural? Yeah. Taboo? Do they have nude beaches or like every beach nude there?
That's a good point, I guess.
Do they have water on Skrull
Yeah, do they have beaches? Is there a Skrull Island? Man, so many questions.
Yeah.
All great questions, too, by the way.
Well, no, they need a new planet, right? So they lost their planet somehow.
Yes. Did they have beaches? I guess maybe past tense.
Yeah. Were they in the new?
Yeah. Was there a Skrull Island? So there's one episode out right now.
Thank God.
It's going to be a weekly release. This was an hour. You thought it felt a lot longer? All right.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it in our review portion of the show.
Yeah, we are going to talk about that.
But yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I will say that
for the record,
that I did love the comic book version of this when it was at the grander scale. I was very much excited for this one. And that's when it's on the record.
That doesn't bode well for the rating.
Bode well. All right, but before we get to our official first episode review, we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, wow.
It's our 100th episode.
A lot of words there. Okay.
It's our 100th episode of First Steps. We've watched a lot of television series over these years.
That means 100 episodes. We watched 100 series?
Yes. Well, yes. Almost. Technically, so almost. There were a couple like bonus episodes, or not bonus episodes, but like ones where we either didn't watch a show or we talked about like we had an Emmys episode.
Right.
We had like just like a Halloween something or other.
Okay.
So there were a couple like that.
Like
so
like
we watched like 96 shows or whatever.
All right.
/ Hallmark movies.
Very much movies.
So I did have a breakdown.
I'm not looking.
11 fantasy series.
Okay.
9 horror. 14 comedy. 11 action. 2 retro rewinds. We did Star Trek Next Generation and Golden Girls.
Okay.
14 drama series. 3 period shows.
Of course.
10 thrillers. 7 reality shows.
Okay.
6 animated. 2 like Muppets. Muppets and the Fraggles. I didn't know what category to put those in.
Muppets. Okay, yeah. They get their own category.
Yeah. 6 other, and then 4 Hallmark movies.
Okay. Wow, that's some good diversity there.
Yeah. Yeah. So our most watched episode on YouTube was Trixie Motel.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The
Happy Pride Month.
Exactly.
I love it.
Second most watched episode, Jack Osbourne's Haunted Homecoming.
Oh, interesting. I'm starting to see a threat. I'm telling you, it's the Discovery Plus people. They want to have their shows reviewed.
So then the third most watched was the Legend of Vox Machina.
Oh, well.
Which has a large YouTube audience in the show that it's based on.
Right.
Critical Role.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Our fourth most watched one was Conjuring Kesha. So you're right back up there with your, because that was a Discovery one too, right?
And we shat all over that one, and then the next week, which people probably didn't tune in on, unless it was the Jack Osbourne one, they wouldn't have heard my apology.
Yeah, you did. You profusely apologized.
I did.
Because you loved it.
I did. I've even listened to Kesha's new album now, solely because I watched that TV show.
Yeah, really?
I feel like I owe it to her. Yes.
Wow, you were just hoping she talked about ghosts on the album?
She's very spiritual now. I'm very into her.
But it's funny because and then as far as the audio podcast goes, it's very different because our most listened to ones were Severance, Only Murders in the Building, and Why the Last Man.
Wow, interesting. All my least favorites.
Yeah.
Well, not Only Murders in the Building. That was a good one.
Yeah. And then, so we did start at the beginning, I think it was season 3 of our series.
Okay.
we started giving a numerical review.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, it was like, binge watch it. Is it worth watching?
Right.
Forget about it. That sort of thing.
Right.
And so I did average all the series.
Ask you if you did.
And our average rating for all the shows we watched this season was a 6.2 out of 10.
I think that would be too generous.
I mean, like, so it was surprising some of the ones that, like, our high was an 8.5, and that was $18.99. Remember that show?
Right. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I never finished. I never watched more. I think I watched the second episode, and that was it. Because it was canceled, and that really bumps me out.
Kill. Yeah.
And that happens, and I don't want it, like, because if there's a cliffhanger, I don't want to watch anymore.
Yep.
But
there was a few I actually watched more of you then. I think we watched 4 or 5 of those episodes.
Really? Okay. Yeah. And then our lowest rated show was The Consultant. Do you remember this one?
No.
This is with.
What is it? We watched this year?
Yep. This is a sneak preview of the next game we're going to play. See if Keith knows what the hell these shows are that we watch.
The Consultant. Okay.
The Consultant was with Christoph Waltz, where he came into like a tech thing.
Oh, yes.
That we
gave smoking like weed in the thing when he walked in.
Yeah, and he came in and made the guy like
shot the guy up,
shower, and yes. We gave that a 2.5.
So awkward. I remember the feelings. I don't remember anything about the show. But I remember feeling so uncomfortable through the entire show.
Yeah, our other lowest rated ones were Vampire Academy, which I really don't remember much about.
It was like very bland.
Yes. And then that got a 3, and then School Spirits got a 3.5.
Oh, that was a disappointing one. I didn't like that one.
Yeah. And then our other highest rated ones, tied for 8, was Silo.
Yes.
Mrs. Davis.
Yes.
Daisy Jones.
Yes.
And
all for 8, huh?
Wednesday.
Oh yeah, Wednesday.
Yep.
That was huge. Made such ripples, and now I mean, obviously that's the nature of it all.
Yeah.
But that was a really good one. Wednesday. Yeah, came out of nowhere. I thought.
I'm counting.
Okay. Yeah.
20. So out of all the shows we watched, I've only completed 21 of the series. That's not great. There's a lot of unwatched. I mean,
that's pretty impressive to me. How many have I watched?
The Gilded Age, right?
Yes, I've seen all those episodes.
And I think that's probably it. Oh no, you watched Behind Her Eyes.
Oh, I love that one, but that was from the very beginning.
Yeah,
we're going all the way back. Behind Her Eyes was so good. If you haven't watched that and somehow it snuck by you, please take a moment to watch that show.
Yeah. Let's see. What else did you finish? Like the Disney, some of the Disney ones, right? The Marvel ones.
Yeah. Yes, because my partner likes those a lot.
Yeah. And House of the Dragon.
Yes, that was a great one.
Yep.
Looking forward to the next.
Midnight Mass.
That I watched with you guys. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So you're up there.
All right. It's like 6 or 7. It's not bad.
All right. So I'm gonna dig deep and see if you can remember what this show was.
Yeah. I will recall with precise recallability.
Okay.
These shows. I'll give you the synopsis.
All right. Shining Vale.
I do know this one.
You do? I couldn't remember.
Courtney Cox Arquette.
Yes.
No, they're not Arquette anymore.
Well,
and
she'll always be Arquette.
She was with the kids. It was really weird. Her face didn't really move very much. We felt uncomfortable through it.
Yep.
They were in a haunted house. And it looked like it might have had some promise to it, but I don't really know what ever happened to it.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Okay.
All right. Shining Girls.
Oh.
Yeah.
We watched this?
That's how, and then, because they were similarly titled Shining Vale and Shining Girls, and I'm like, what is this show?
I don't remember this at all.
So this was
Girls.
with
Are you gonna show me
Elizabeth Moss, and it was years after a brutal attack left her in a constantly shifting reality. Kirby learns that a recent murder is linked to her assault.
Yes.
It was like really like
it was a downer one.
Super downer. And we were like, okay, that was too heavy.
Yeah.
Because like a little girl gets like murdered or assaulted or something
and
like that.
It may not have been her. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Completely blocked that out blissfully from my mind.
What about Stay Close?
Stay Close. This is fun. You know what? I'm having some memory bank problems right now.
Does this do anything for you? This is probably the most forgettable show that we watched.
Is that Aubrey Plaza?
No. So
this does nothing for me. I have no idea what this is.
It was the lives of a photojournalist, a soccer mom, and a homicide detective are disturbed by a terrible event from their past.
Weird.
It was a Harlan Coben show.
He showed me the picture for those of you at home. So I'm looking at the picture of the promo pics, and I have no idea who these people are.
Yeah. That was absolutely the most forgettable show.
We actually watched that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it.
The first episode.
Did it get canceled?
I think it was just like a one and done type thing.
Yeah.
What about?
Oh, that's so funny.
Do you remember The Chair?
Yes, I do. Sandra Oh, and she is just taking over the department, like an English department.
Right.
It's the first Asian professor or chair.
Yeah.
And so she's kind of going through grad students are going up, other people are mad at her. Yeah, la la la. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
What about the mysterious Benedict Society? God.
I mean, it sounds like one of
the mysterious Benedict
kind of
Society. It was with Tony Hale, and these kids have maybe have powers or something. I don't really remember much about it. It had a very Wes Anderson-y vibe.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the one with were there some special guest stars in it? No, I think I'm getting Lemony Snicket mixed up with it.
This chick was in it.
Oh yes, I do. She was she was taking.
She was the best part.
Yes. Kristen
Shaw.
Yeah. Yes, I do remember that now. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the other ones are pretty our first show ever, Fate, the Winx Saga.
I remember that one.
Do you remember our second show, Bridgerton?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Classic.
Really started out hype.
And then 30 Coins.
I remember that was really close. 30 Coins one. I still want to go back and watch more of that one.
I know. I thought it was so when I was looking at the genres, I thought it was amazing that our first maybe dozen were all different. Because then it was Behind Her Eyes, which was more of a thriller.
Yeah.
The Crew was that awful Kevin James show about NASCAR.
Oh my God.
Marriage or Mortgage.
Oh, that's when our first guest star, Marcy.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
The Dota Dragon show.
Okay.
Did you finish that one?
No.
What was the one you did? Master of the Universe? Did you watch that one all the way through?
We did watch that one through, yes.
And then The Nevers.
We were excited about that one, but yeah. And then it got canceled too, right?
It did.
And Joss Whedon kind of got canceled.
Joss Whedon got canceled, but it's interesting because they came out with so it kind of had a part one is where it ended.
Okay.
And then they came out with the next 5 episodes for part 2, but you could only watch them. They only aired it was not on demand. You had to put on, I think it was Tubi at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night and watch it. And you couldn't watch it any other way.
No. Wow. Okay.
So I still have to go back and watch those last 5 because that was one of my favorite series.
It another way. It's over with now.
I think I can find it somewhere now. Find it through some sort of high seas adventure. What about Jupiter's Legacy? You remember that one?
I do. They wore really tight outfits and it was awkward. It was some bad superhero.
That one was not good.
Bad.
That one got canceled real fast.
Yeah.
What about Killing It? Do you remember that one?
Is that no, that's not it. I'm thinking, what's the show with Nicole Byer? Nailed It.
No, Nailed It.
No, I don't remember Killing It.
Killing It was with Craig Robinson, where he was killing snakes.
Oh, yes. Yes. And the girl from that Office show with the 3 guys on it was in that.
Claudia O'Doherty?
Maybe blonde?
I don't know.
Blonde girl?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Who? What was the show we used to watch where we said it was you, me, and Dave Rossi?
Oh, Workaholics.
Who was the blonde girl in that? She was also in Killing It.
I don't know.
I thought she was like the taxi driver or something that like he was in the car with.
That was Claudia O'Doherty.
Oh.
You're thinking of Jillian Bell, I think.
Yes, what was Jillian Bell in that we watched? I'm really going to make you think, because I feel like she was in one of the ones.
I don't know. We didn't watch too many comedies. Was she in... Another comedy we watched was Loot. Do you remember what that one was?
No.
That was with Maya Rudolph, where she divorced her husband and had all the money.
Recently. Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of different high quality shows.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and some very low quality shows.
Yeah, out of all the ones, like, what do you have a favorite that you remember watching, like, that sticks with you? Like, I forgot that we watched House of the Dragon, but that was phenomenal
that's
series.
Fantastic. For me, honestly, The Gilded Age I loved. It was just about the period.
Yeah, you were watching that period. It's like that was destination television. Yeah. Like, you're like, I'm home watching it live as it airs.
Yes, I was. Literally was.
Yeah.
That's coming out again at some point in time, but yeah. Honestly, I love all the haunted ghosty ones, even if they're terrible. So those are fun. But yeah, I think most of the HBO ones, I guess the Prestige ones, and then that one. How about you? I mean, you, like, Vox Machina, I think was a big surprise for you how much you guys loved that, and then really kept watching it.
That's one we're still watching.
Yeah.
It's great. It just continues to be. We just watched the one of the most recent episodes, and I wanted to show it to you so much because it was like this amazing battle scene. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I want to do this in like our D&D campaign.
Okay, I got to watch this all.
Yeah, it was
great.
And
then Arcane too, right? Is that
Arcane? Yeah, that one was phenomenal, and I hope that I hope they make more of that. I'm not certain, but yeah, I was thinking like, so the most recent ones like Silo, we're watching that. We're caught up on that. That's probably one of
going on really well
best
still. Yeah, so good.
Oh, good. Now.
Wow, nice.
And then there's some that I really thought I would enjoy that, like Mrs. Davis. I think was my highest rating. I gave that first episode an 8.5. We watched the next like 2.
Yeah,
and it's
just too weird now.
It's very weird. Like, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Okay. Like weird for weird's sake, but not weird entertaining.
It just keeps adding weirdness to it and not really like explaining anything.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
So
I haven't watched it since. I mean, she was great in that. What's her name? Betty Gilpin.
Yeah, Betty Gilpin. Yeah. But yeah, there's like, remember Paul T. Goldman?
Mm-hmm.
That show. I never watched any more of that.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I just said yes to that, and I'm like, I don't know who it is. The show
really?
Is.
You don't?
Tell me what it is again.
So that was the one who was like a kind of either a real person or not, and we weren't certain. It was like he was making a movie about his life.
Yes, it was weird. Yes.
There were so many shows. I'm like, man, we watched a lot of shows because I didn't remember most that we did this year. Velma, I completely forgot about that show.
Yeah, I wanted to watch more of that one because I haven't really.
So
that was very divisive, but I don't know. You know, people are.
Yeah, did you ever finish that 28 Days Haunted?
No.
That was the one. It was like a ghost hunting show or whatever, but they had to stay in the house for like 28 days.
I knew some of the people.
Yes.
That's right. I forgot. What was that on?
I don't know. It was not on like the traditional one, maybe Prime or something like that.
Okay. And I don't have Prime, so maybe it wasn't. That's why I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I'll look it up when we
let me know, because that one I do want to see more of.
Yeah. So so lots of shows, you know.
Yeah.
The first 100 episodes, I'm sure there's going to be, a couple thousand more. Am I right?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I would say so, with any luck.
Yeah.
I hope we get up to 1 million before I croak.
Yeah. I mean, this thing is bound to take off one of these days. We just need that one big break. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bigger than, what's our number one hit again?
Trixie Motel.
Trixie Motel?
Yeah. Yeah,
that was like, I don't know. That was like lightning in a bottle, I think. Will we want to recreate that?
Yeah, we're going to have to. We're just going to watch more drag queen
I would
shows.
love to. Are there any?
There's like, I think there's like 1,000 RuPaul shows. There's like a new one of those every week.
But those are like, because it's not a new series, right? But there is.
But I mean, there is like constantly new series, like RuPaul's like cooking hour.
I would watch that too. What was there was a new one that, oh no, it's not a drag show at all, but they look like they might be drag queens. It was a dancing one.
Oh.
With the ballroom dancing competition.
Oh, really?
But the women have so much makeup on and they're very like, whoa.
Oh, I love that you think ballroom dancers might also just being drag queens.
I thought when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, these are drag queen dancers. That's really cool." I'm like, "Oh no, it's not."
That's
so
amazing.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being obviously a cisgender female in dancing too.
Yeah.
But I thought they had a little more fabulousness to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
I didn't watch that one anyway.
We'll see.
So.
All right.
Have you watched that one?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Well,
I'll add it to my list. I was surprised when I was looking at like
dancing shows.
Dude, I watched this year especially.
Yeah.
Like I've been really into watching quality television shows, and I was shocked that all of my favorite shows were none of the shows that we watched. Like none of them, dude. Like so far recently, Shrinking and The Diplomat. Both like the best shows. Diplomat was a Netflix show with Kerry Russell. Shrinking is an Apple show with Jason Segel and Harrison Ford. They're both fantastic shows, and I love them. Highly recommend them. And then
I didn't even know what the shows are.
I started watching Tulsa King just because I didn't have anything to watch.
Oh right,
and it was Sylvester Stallone as like a mob boss in Tulsa.
Yeah,
loved it, dude. It's so ridiculous and so over the top and so stupid. But like I binged it, dude.
You floated that for us, and I was like,
you shot it down like immediately. I think we like chose to even just not do an episode that week.
But in retrospect, that was a bad error because look at it. It's one of your highlights.
Look at it, yeah. And then Beef. I watched that.
Where's the beef?
I watched that. We watched that show. Do you know what that is? Oh my god, that was like 3 episodes ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wait, what did we watch?
with Stephen Yeun and what's her name? Where like they're the road rage and then like Ali Wong.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That series is great. Highly recommend that. But it's like the whole way through. It's
that's
like
right. Well,
very
the whole time
cringe.
Beef, I didn't realize it was like I don't remember watching one about meat.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the meat? Should we play Meat Minute again? Meat Minute.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was where that came from.
Yeah, the first and only episode of Meat Minute.
Wow. Yeah.
All right.
Oh man, so many highs.
Yeah, so many highs. All right, now let's bring out your teacher, Mrs. Fox. This is your life. No, let's get back. Let's talk about what show did we watch?
We watched something
Secret Invasion.
Secret Agent Man.
Let's talk about that. I want to know your review of the first episode of Secret Invasion, the new Disney Plus Marvel series.
Oh my gosh.
The first episode.
I have to tell you, I felt like they were dialing it in. They know what they want now. They're just making these shows out, cranking them up, and I felt it had no soul, no heart, and I did not like it one at all.
Really? What's your score?
1.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was hideous.
Oh, 1.
Why are we watching an MCU thing when there's no Marvel? There's nothing going on. They just shot a couple guns.
Nick Fury is Marvel.
And they changed the Skrulls once in a while. It was terrible.
Wow, 1. So
it was one of the worst shows we've ever watched, I think. It was definitely the worst MCU show I've ever watched.
Okay. Well, now, so now I have the ratings in front of me of our previous shows.
What did I say? This was Soldier.
That
was probably just
we weren't doing. Yeah,
it was a meh.
So, like, let's say, The Consultant, where you gave it a 2.
Remember again what The Consultant was?
Christoph Waltz takes over the company, makes a guy like bathe in his office, and
yes.
And he like I don't know, he has sex with, he raped some guy or something. I don't remember. It was very awful.
That's right.
It was awful.
Right. They got a 2.
So that one was better than this.
Better atmosphere.
Okay. What about Paul T. Goldman?
Remember that one?
Yeah. The guy is a fake show. We don't know what's going on. Is it a real show? The guy's a weirdo.
Right. Yeah, that was uncomfortable, but yes, that we
give a 6.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a better show anyway because that one at least I was like I was intrigued by what was happening.
So, School Spirits. That was a better show than Secret Invasion.
So there was. Let me put it this way, okay? The main characters to me were boring. Okay,
and I'm fine with your thoughts. They didn't
offer anything. The setting was boring. Like nothing about this made me want to keep watching it. If I wasn't watching this with you guys, I would have walked away from this so fast.
All right.
Whereas the other ones, like even School Spirit, was like eye-rollingly bad, but like
you enjoyed a piece.
I could like make fun of it.
Okay.
Right? This there's nothing to make fun of. There's nothing for me to. There's nothing. It offered nothing.
Wow. Okay.
I thought.
No, I'm fine with that. I just don't like when it's like the hyperbolic reviews where it's like either it's like a 1 or a 10.
No,
we see those too often.
I don't do that.
You've never done it.
Yeah.
That's why I was pressing you on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's fine.
I think it's the first one, right? Like, because even like Why the Last Man, like it made me feel uncomfortable, and that's why I didn't like it. But it made me feel something. This I was just like, I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I give it a 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought at least yours were a 5.
No, I thought it was setting. I mean, it was a lot of setup. There was a lot of like. So definitely, there were some boring parts. But I've always liked that thing where it's like, who can you trust? You know, and you don't know. Like John Carpenter's The Thing. You ever watch that movie where it's like, it's all like, it just builds this anxiety. You don't know who's real, who's not. Yeah. And this kind of has that feeling, like that we see up until the last minute where Maria Hill goes to who she thinks is Nick Fury. Is not Nick Fury. Right. So it's like, shit's going down. They just blew up everything. Yeah. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. Okay. And I think also like being like a huge fan of Marvel Comics and just kind of seeing like, so we saw Don Cheadle, so War Machine will probably be in it at some point, maybe. Great. Yeah. So no powers though.
I know, but he at least he
basically the same thing as Nick Fury. He's just got guns.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like Nick Fury kind of does. He's more of like the brains, and he's fine to watch. But I feel like he needs other people to be part of him. Like a lot like Professor X. Like he's not gonna be the one going out there doing his thing, right? Yeah. Like he needs other people.
No, and that has been criticism of this show. It's that it's only Nick Fury, for the whole thing.
He was great in it, but he didn't do anything.
How old do you think Sam Jackson is?
I don't know. He looks great though.
He's 75, I think.
Wow.
He's 75 or 73. I just saw that the other day, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
He looks amazing.
I would have put him like at least 10 years younger.
Yeah, absolutely. And he said that his the way he can age so gracefully because he has so much money and he has no stress.
Oh, and I was God, that's some goals. I like that.
All right, that is our huge 100th episode extravaganza.
Yeah, that's why I give it a 1.
First steps.
From 100
I should have gave it a 00, baby. We watched Secret Invasion. Let us know what you thought of that show. If you give it a 1, if you give it a 7, somewhere in between. So yeah,
maybe 10.
Man, that really brings down the average of that.
I know. I feel bad.
Yeah,
I can reevaluate.
It's a 4.
I can reevaluate.
No. Well, think about it for next week. We'll talk about it. We'll see if it's like a Kesha, if it's like a whole Kesha,
what did we give Kesha?
Apologize moment. I don't know. I don't know if were we doing scores for Kesha?
Kesha had heart to it. This really felt bland to me.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah, it was a lot of just like
it had
talking.
So many people in it too that I was like, oh, they're in it, and yet the pieces didn't seem to match up to something that I wanted to watch.
Sure. No, I mean, this is based on like our interpretation of the first episode. Now, it may turn out to be great, like we talked about, like, or it may continue to to be boring. So yeah, I mean,
I don't know this. You read it too, right? So like, you also have more.
And it's going to be nothing like that. Yeah. So, and that is kind of a detriment for me, is that I do wish it was more like the books, where it just had a bigger scale. It felt weightier.
See, and I think that's what I didn't read those books, but that is, I think, what I anticipated also.
Yeah, I think there was like, like the president was like a scroll and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, we'll see if I mean,
maybe we'll see that at some point. But
yeah, I mean, that would explain Donald Trump. All right. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. Go check out our socials. Or on Instagram, TikTok. First Steps over there. You can listen to the podcast anywhere podcasts are found, and then check out the video version on YouTube at Pop Culture Playground or at Fruit Lab. And that's all I got. You got anything else?
No.
All right. Thank you so much.
Take care.
We'll be back with 100 more episodes
next week.
Yeah, next week. We're gonna record them all right now. All right. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Bye.
What do we say?
Hang on.
Wait, hang on. What do we say?